Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone had an excellent weekend. No, I had a pretty cool, pretty chill weekend. Hope you all had one too. Weather's been a little weird here, but hey, welcome to the South in the summertime. It's going to storm, it's going to be hot, and then it's going to storm, and then it's going to be hot. Part of the game. I'm Carolina Keith. Just call me Keith. Just call me Simp. Just call me Professor Keith. Just call me whatever you'd like to call me. Asshole, awful person, whatever. As Tom McDonald says, they're just names. It's fine. I don't care. Good to see everyone. We're going to go over some cool stuff tonight. I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and Ethereum first, because as we see, just like the thumbnail says, once again, the bears are in full control here. People have got to start working on adjusting their mindset a little bit as far as what they think is going to happen and what they think they see. Far, far, far too often, what we're seeing is people who think that, oh man, I know what the market's doing. We're bullish. I can see it happening. We've hit the bottom. Only you don't know any of that. You don't know any of that. You're just essentially guessing. Well, the question is what I always ask. Why guess? This is technical analysis. Let's get technical and analyze, shall we? If you haven't done so, go hit like, man. They're free. $3 for likes. They cost nothing here. The more likes we get, the higher up YouTube pushes us up the old algorithm chain. The more people who will watch and the more people we can help. Down in the description of the video, there's a link for the Discord, for the launch pass for 1 year for our Discord access, and you get 1 free month, everybody. You get 1 free month, everybody, if you sign up for a year. Also, there's a link in there with Coinbase to pay with crypto. If you like to pay with crypto, knock yourself out. We do this constantly, nonstop, 24/7. Our Discord is chock full of stuff, everything from custom-made indicators that some people charge thousands of dollars for, to charts, to bot stuff, to node stuff, to any number of things. Just straight TA, just straight indicators, chart setup. Anything you can think of, we've got there related to a chart, whether that be crypto, stocks, Forex, equities, ETFs, bonds, doesn't matter. We'll look at all of them and analyze anything we can come up with in our old Discord there. So, who all's on here? Let's go say hey to everybody like we always do. Real quick, like, Frog with a hat says, hey, yo, Bears busy week, I see. Absolutely. Alvin, what's up, dude? Fabio says, sitting here waiting for signals. Bro, I don't got no signals. Ever Forward, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Ilias Samadakis. I'm getting better with my Greek names, bro. Good morning. Mango Bango or Mongo Bongo. You've already told me this enunciation one time, and I've forgotten it, and I'm sorry. Joel, good to see you. Ramadan, I'm thinking of a master plan because ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands, so I dig into my pocket, all my money is spent, so I dig deeper, but I'm coming up with lint. Let's go. All right. Papa Nick, what's up? Good to see you, brother. One of the admins. Ropa Dope, what's up? Good to see you. Educated Dummy, what's up, my friend Liam? What's up, kiddos? What do you call bears with no ears? Bees. Stupid dude. Did he say butt stuff? No, I ain't say no butt stuff. I said bot. Happy Tuesday, brother. Kayak, good to see you. Dynamis Crypto, just made it. Eating curry and watching Keith. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate the kind words you gave me on Twitter. I say this all the time. But if you guys help promote the channel and you put this out on Twitter and you say good things, more people come. We can help more people. More people learn. More people get better. More people get educated. And the more educated decisions that we all make together, the more money we all make together. And I want us to all to make the max amount of money possible. What good is being in my position and doing well if I can't have people do well with me? What good is it? Okay, what good is it to have myself doing well, but no one else doing well? I don't want that. I want everybody to do well. What's up, Jack? Good to see you. Crypto Psycho. What's up, brother? Kayaka. Good to see you. Did I miss anything? Nope. Ashley, butt stuff. LOL. I know, right? That's Nick. He's a Buffalonian. Just bear with him. So let's jump right on to Bitcoin right here. Are we at the BTC bottom because my butt's hurting them? Interestingly enough, I was getting ready to say that. If we look at the Bitcoin chart, everyone constantly keeps asking, are we at the bottom? I think we're at the bottom. Did we hit the bottom? I think we're at the bottom. We're near the bottom. We're probably at the bottom. It's not that important. And why do I say that? Worrying about the bottom here of Bitcoin isn't that important. What's more important is making sure we buy at the right time, not just necessarily buy the bottom. It's extremely difficult to perfectly pinpoint where the bottom of anything is. In fact, any good TA person will tell you that you're absolutely guessing if you're trying to hit the absolute bottom. Okay? What you can do is get very close, which is what I preach all the time. There's no reason to throw bullseyes. Yes, it's nice to throw bullseyes, but if I can just get the darts on the board, I'm doing better than most people. Okay? I want you 10 feet away from the dartboard. Don't go across the room. Don't go across the lobby. Try to throw darts 10 feet away, and I'm going to beat you over time. So, do I think the bottom's in? Tough call. We are at support for the first time in a long time. Okay? We did make a bit of a double bottom at a CME gap. That's good. What is a CME gap? That's a Chicago Mercantile Exchange gap. They close on the weekend. Since they're closing the weekend, and we know Bitcoin just keeps on going all the time, a gap forms. That gap is relatable on the chart. They close about 83% of the time. Are we at the bottom? Well, according to the chart, maybe, maybe not. There's no real clear-cut answer about whether we're at the bottom yet or not. What I do know is we have a downward 821 cross on the daily right now. What we had, an upward 821 cross, is now gone. If you look a little closer, you see the first white trend line right there. We never broke it. In fact, we touched it and played perfectly off the bottom of it. In fact, it's probably best to wait for this line to break before we start hollering bullish stuff. Even if this line breaks, as you see, there's another line up here that says bull market line. This is the big overall trend line right here. Excuse me. This big overall trend line right here tells us that we are going nowhere fast. Even if we break this lower trend line, we must then advance past that trend line and test this trend line. That's not been broken since all the way back in November of the last year. We're approaching on 1 year. Okay? We're approaching on that of not getting over that trend line. Historically speaking, trend lines in crypto and bear markets have lasted up to 2.5 years. We're about 1 year into it. Not even really there yet. Okay. We're almost to a year. They've still got a ways to go here. There's no reason to hurry up and buy anything. I've been saying this for quite a while. If you try to hurry up and buy this, what you're going to end up with is a situation where you go, oh man, I think I caught the absolute bottom. And then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. And you're stuck in a sideways play here that doesn't make you any money, and in fact only ties up your liquidity. We recently did a video on Bitcoin, a difference in dollar cost averaging versus trading on the weekly. What we found is even the weekly is far better than holding, just holding and trying to buy all the time. In fact, the daily absolutely dwarfs anything to do with holding if you just bought and sold the 821 EMA cross on the daily. Furthermore, we can take it a little farther than that. I talk about this all the time, but you don't have to just try to buy the bottom. Let's try to get an uptrend. Let's try to buy an uptrend. Well, the question always gets asked to me, how do you know when the uptrends start? You're just guessing, aren't you, Keith? Incorrect. We see this trend line drawn here. Instead of guessing when to buy, how about we set some alerts to tell us, hey, we're crossing this trend line for the first time in quite some time. I have two trend lines drawn here, okay? I'm going to go over this real quickly. As you see the first trend line, I stopped it here, but you could pull it all the way up here if you really wanted to. It's clear cut that that trend line's holding, okay? You can't really argue with that. Need to be in log mode, which I have here at the bottom, log mode. Trend lines will line up correctly in log mode. They will not line up correctly in linear mode, especially if you're any kind of not zoomed in. If you zoom in at all, you will get a false reading on a trend line break in linear mode. So put it in log mode and be smart. Click on your trend line. Click the little alert symbol right here. Once you click the alert symbol, crossing up. Okay, Bitcoin, crossing up, trend line, once per bar close. You can go set some alerts here. You can have it send you a pop-up. You can have it send you an email. You can have it send you a text message to tell you, hey, it's breaking the trend line. In fact, you can put trend line 1. Create. Now what you've done is you've created a trend line that has an alert set. So when the price closes above this trend line, it alerts you and tells you trend line 1 alert, as if the daily chart has broken the trend line. Go back to your other trend line, do the exact same thing. Click the trend line. Same thing, Bitcoin crossing up once per bar close. These alerts only last 2 months, by the way, unless you have the ultra premium account, which I don't have. I just have Pro Plus. Then I have to do this every 2 months. Oh God, that's so difficult. I know. Just do it every 2 months. Pick your action that you would like it to do. Okay, it'll send you an alert. Name it BTC Bull Market. How about that? And once it crosses, bam, we'll get an alert telling us, hey, the bull market has begun. We've broken a trend line that hasn't broken in what is almost a year so far. Now, that wasn't so complicated, was it? No, it really wasn't. We drew a trend line. We added a couple alerts. When we get an alert, once we see that it's crossed the trend line, then we'll think about buying. Till then, why worry so much? Why stress over it? It's not necessary. You're going to get very close to the bottom no matter what you do here. Okay? You don't have to hit the absolute perfect, dead on nuts, perfect bottom. It's not necessary. Just get 10 feet from the dartboard. 10 feet from the dartboard, throwing darts, and I'm going to beat you most of the time. Okay? You may beat me every once in a while, but I'm going to beat you most of the time. Now, anyone can do what I just did. Please apply the logic just like I did for yourself on any chart that you feel the need to, whether that be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, ADA, Binance Coin, XLM, Algorand, CRV, Matic, Polygon Network, AVAX, FTM. It doesn't matter. You can do this for every single one of them and have the exact same answers that I'm going to come up with. So I actually recorded little pieces of that right there, and I'm going to make a Twitter thread out of that with videos. So I'll put that out there for people to watch it. If you haven't done so yet, go hit like, man. Free likes for everybody. They're free. They don't need to be hardcore worried about. They're free. You don't have to pay anything for them. More likes we get, the higher we go up on YouTube's. So there's my Bitcoin analysis. It's real simple. No other indicators needed yet. We don't even have an early buy signal. Since we don't even have an early buy signal, it just literally failed. Bro, let's just chill. What do the high time frames say? High time frame says, you're not even close to getting over the 8 EMA. 8 EMA and the 21 EMA are an incredibly long distance away from each other. They're going to be a minute. Can they come back together? They could. Is this slowly starting to sweep? Is this slowly starting to sweep around here and slow down a little bit? It is. Does that mean that we are bullish? No, does not. There's no reason to hurry up and do it. There's just no reason to hurry up and buy. It's not necessary. Remember the movie Don't Be a Menace? $5 pickle jar, you break, hurry up and buy. Right? Exactly. We don't need to do that. We just don't need to. Relax. Let's answer some questions real quick. All right. It said, damn it, son. Are we at the bottom? Right, we got that. When upswing, as soon as we see a high time frame important level break, then we can start talking about somewhat of an upswing. But as you see, we're getting crushed on every time frame. And until that changes, I just shy away. I'm just tired of day trading, too much thinking. I hear you, bro. That's why I tell everyone you don't need to day trade. I warn people about this all the time. Day trading will wear you out. Okay, don't do it if you don't have the time and effort to put into it. It's not necessary. Using just the daily chart, looking at the daily chart, for instance, if you're only going to worry about Bitcoin, 5 minutes a day to check and see is it a buy or a sell. That's it. Okay, give it a little analyze, and then be on your way. You don't really need to do too much. All right, so bears, and not the San Francisco variety. Exactly. Those are furries, bro. Equities have been all right though, so I shouldn't complain this week aside. Correct. Denny Deep Pockets, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Rug, what's up, brother? Kelly Slade, what's up, Miss Kelly? Good to see you. Can I do Solana? Yep, we'll do Solana right after we do Ethereum, okay? That blows my mind that literally anyone could do this with an 821 EMA and 15 minutes of learning and people still just ignore it and guess. Welcome to my world. I'm looking at stuff and going, dude, why aren't you even trying? Why is this so hard for you to understand? And people still don't listen. So only thing I can do, those things are out of my control, is continue to try to do what I do. And those who come along and listen, all great. Those who do not, well, maybe we can break through one day. That's the way I look at it. I've had to change my mental approach as far as that goes. 329 says, hello, I'm Papa Nick's freshest son. Hey, what's up, bro? Good to see you, dude. Why you didn't come hang? Oh, you were at your other sides. That's right. We came up to Buffalo, hung out a little bit. I didn't get to meet you, but I'm meeting you now. That's awesome. What's up, Bears? Ignacio Cervantes. Yep. Hi, I'm your dad's friend. Thoughts on DOT? Prime for a breakout? We'll look at DOT right here in a second. Daily time frame forever. Exactly, bro. Yeah, good to see you, brother. Yeah, give me a minute. You typed a lot of messages. You got to kind of bear with me because I don't read the messages constantly because I'm kind of trying to talk and teach and do two things at 3 times. You're in a long-term bullish on BTC. Okay, if you're long-term bullish on BTC, why not buy now? Especially if it drops below 20K again. If it drops below 20K, that's an important barrier. It could go to 10K. If you buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin at 20K because you say what you just said, if you're long-term bullish, why not do it? Well, if it goes to 10K, you just lost half of your money. Why not just buy the right spot? Why not just wait for an uptrend to come and buy, and then you know you're not going to lose any money? And until then, save up to buy the right spot, right? No reason to worry about whether you're going to lose money or not. Just wait for some sort of relief, some sort of uptrend to where you can go, okay, yeah, this is finally something responsive that I see rather than having to guess, okay? The problem with what you just said is what literally everyone does. Well, why not just buy here if I'm long-term bullish? How do you know what's really going to be here in 10 years? You don't. How do you know what's going to be here in 3 years? You don't. AVAX didn't exist 3 years ago, and look at that run. Solana didn't exist. CRV didn't exist. All these other things didn't exist. How do you know what's going to be here? How do you know that the asset you're picking is always going to be the winner? You don't. Okay? That's where the chart comes in. Tomorrow, the world could shut down all Bitcoin mining and no more would exist, and they could come in and they could eliminate the blockchain somehow. Some way, somehow, this could go away one day. And then all that long-term bullish talk would go away. But how do you really know? You don't. That's why I always use the chart. No questioning, no wondering, just the chart. Appreciate the TA, my brother. Please keep sharing. Thank you, Mike Miner. Thank you, Miner Mike. Good to see you, brother. Them bears are pretty ruthless, unlike the one on your stream title. Yeah, he's kind of waving, telling hey, everybody, I'm still here. QNT had an 821 in the weekly rare, but then dropped sharply. Absolutely, it did. Route also looked pretty good. Long-term bearish, the monthly got an 821 bearish cross. Yeah, man. That's been a typical signal. Real quick, I'll go one more thing on Bitcoin here. That's been a signal in the past for the market to go sideways or go up. And what I mean by that is if you look historically, every time we have an 821 downward cross like you see right here, a couple months later, it reverses. It may have some more down before then. Same thing here, 821 cross. It took some months to recover, but it did recover and break back out. Okay, and you didn't have another 821 cross because it didn't exist before then. But the 2 times you've had it, it's been a fairly good signal that the market is going to attempt to try to retrace back up some. There again, we've had no proof of that yet, so let's be very careful. In fact, it may take till mid-August or something right here before we see some real action. I was kind of worried about this. That's what I've been kind of trying to warn people of. All right, can't wait for the one-on-one with you next month. Awesome, bro. Good to see you then. I'm going to open up some new one-on-one times in August once I get back from vacation. I'll be on vacation next week, by the way, so there'll be no live streams next week. When I get back, I'll have a different timeline, different times open up. They won't be all at night anymore, and they won't all be on the weekend. There'll be some during the week so that people can come on during the week and talk rather than constantly having during the weekends and nights. This way I can hang out with the kids more on the mornings because ball season's going to start back up here, and I'm going to have to be at those and not be in here teaching. All right, let's do Ethereum. Monthly signals on Ethereum. Let me just pull up a different Ethereum chart here. Yep, same situation. Tried to cross the AEMA, couldn't do it. Immediate rejection. So it may take the end of the month or the beginning of next month. This thing could also just go down again next month. You have no proof of anything here. That's on a weekly. Monthly, yeah, you still got some time here. This 821 cross is working on happening. Hasn't quite happened yet. Historically speaking, 821 cross, a few months later, you get some rebound, but then it took a while for the bear market to actually go away. All right, and that's the only time that's ever happened in Ethereum's history as well. Weekly, not the same sentiment. It's hard to bear that on weekly and say, yes, it's going to happen. It wasn't the case. In fact, if you saw the video I did between HODL and weekly trade on Ethereum, it was pretty darn tight. And that's because of moves like this. These kind of moves right here actually really hurt the trading on the weekly because, I mean, this thing took just as big a loss on trading as it did holding. That's why I like the daily so much more. The daily time frames allow you the ability to anticipate some stuff and see what's happening on a far, far shorter time frame. You can get in and out a lot faster. Let's go to the daily. Similar situation here for Ethereum. You have a short-term trend line. It peaked over real quick. It never closed over though. If you see, these are both red candles. That's because the CME happened on the weekend, and you got no candles over the short-term trend line. So we can do the exact same thing for Ethereum that we did with Bitcoin. This will be our long-term bull line. Okay, crossing up once per bar close. Pick your pop up. I'm not going to do that. I check my alerts every couple hours anyway. So a bull market. All right, so there we go. It's going to say bull market pop up for me, and it's going to say ETH crossing the daily trend line, and that's the big trend line. All right, so done. Simple as that. And I have an alert set on this trend line. It's going to go off and tell me, hey, we're ready to rock. I could set one for this lower trend line too. It's not going to do it right now. You don't have a downward 821 cross like you do on Bitcoin yet. As you see, it's in a little bit better spot, but I want you to also understand that it fell way farther than Bitcoin did percentage-wise. Ethereum fell farther, so it's got more room to make up. Still no sell signal. You're still technically in a buy situation here, but you are under the trend line, and this could fall farther. So be very careful here. Tight stop losses, and be ready to pull it. 4 hours trying to battle back here. This recent 4-hour candle pulled the price back up there, pretty similar to the standard chart. Not the same, but pretty similar. There's a little bit of arbitrage there, but not much. Either way, this has got a downward cross on 4 hour as well. So not great. Even 4 hour isn't a buy. So be careful. This thing can fail very, very rapidly. All the other indicators are all sweeping, but not good enough yet. And that's on 4 hours. Let's get on a daily here. Same thing, sweeping. Haven't crossed bullish on the MACD yet. I like the look of this RSI bouncing off the 50 right there, though. That's good. KDJ is pointing down. It's more of a low time frame, and I've got it up there for bots that are running. All right. Same situation for Ethereum. A little bit better spot than Bitcoin. Still not amazing spot. Very tight stop losses here. It can fail really rapidly, and until it breaks that trend line, nothing great to report. All right, Solana. Solana's been a bit of a pickle here. This one broke this trend line. Okay. See that? Broke the trend line. Cool. Now what? Testing the trend line on the backside now. 821 downward cross. Going to be forced to sell this here if you're in it because you got an 821 downward cross. Now, I'll say that and say that there is a trend line right there. It's trying to hold. So I did post some trades that I made over in the Patreon, over in Unlimited Chat, over in the Discord on the Unlimited Chat. I'm still in those positions. I haven't exited them yet because I had very far stop losses. I wanted to give the charts a little bit of time to balance themselves out because I knew this sideways may happen. I didn't commit all of my capital, only committed a portion. So I was able to take a little bit of risk here without going wild with it. I want to see if it can hold some trend lines here. I also have some Solana stuck over on Voyager. Y'all go hit like if you will. We only have 4 minutes left. There are 85 people on here and only 38 people have hit like. More people hit like, please. Free likes. They're free. YouTube helps us out with that. Where are you going? Somewhere good? Yeah, we rented a house down at the beach, Myrtle Beach again. It's a family vacation. We do that once a year. I got to get the fiance on some other vacations and stuff. She's been ragging me pretty hard about that. I've really been concentrating on what I've been doing in here, working. Spending a lot of time talking to people on Discord and doing TA in the background and stuff. It's a new transition for me, not being in a regular job anymore and being in my own person. All right. So it's taken me a minute to get my mind right as far as budgeting my time better. I've struggled with that. I'm going to get better at it. So that's my look on Solana. You do have an 21 downward cross coming. All the other indicators kind of look better. If you look at the MACD, it did cross over the bullish territory. However, you've got a downward cross on it now. It did cross the midline, but now you have a downward cross. So even though that's good, it's also bad. We're mixed. We're mixed emotions there on that. Floating between 50 and 40 on the RSI. Nothing to report there. KDJ is dragging the floor. That can happen though. It's a fast moving indicator, so typical. All right. When would you use a linear chart for analysis? Maybe never. I didn't know to change this to logarithmic. Yeah. So linear is good for when you're zoomed in. And I'm going to give you a good example of that. Let's go back to XRP for a moment. Let's look at this monthly chart here. If we're looking at a monthly chart, what you're seeing right now is logarithmic mode. Logarithmic mode is to scale on the bottom and to scale on the top. If you've ever remembered doing points on a chart in middle school or grammar school, for you guys over there across the pond, you have an x-axis and a y-axis. So if I gave you 3, 4, you know that meant go over 3 and up 4. But what if I gave you 3, 16,374? Okay, you don't have enough room to put it on the chart, right? So in linear mode, it scrunches it all down really tight and changes the size of the candles to fit it all on the screen. In logarithmic mode, it doesn't do that. It lets the chart go expansively wide, which is exactly what it does in real life. Some of these charts move hundreds of thousands of percent. And since that happens, we need to be able to chart it all. We want to see the candles for the actual size that they made. I'm in log mode right now. When I go to linear mode, this is what I get. Okay. Now my trend lines line up anymore. In fact, I can't even analyze what's back here on the back. Support and resistance doesn't make as much sense any longer. It's harder to read. Now, if I zoom in first, let's zoom way in first, right? And only have a few candles on the screen. Now I'm in log mode, linear mode. Not a ton of difference, but still some, but nothing like we saw a moment ago. When you're zoomed way in, it's not as important. And in fact, you'll find that you can use Fibonacci retracement and get a little tighter with your linear mode Fibonacci lines than you can with your log mode Fibonacci lines. The problem with that is you're going to be switching back and forth and you're going to get frustrated. That's why I just tend to not even bother with linear that much. It does hold water in Forex, but I found just as much success using log mode in Forex as linear. That's why I stick with log mode most of the time. Thank you, Danny Deep Pockets. He said, check out the 786 website for personal TA classes. Danny Deep Pockets took one. Why shouldn't you take one? Have times available open right now for August, which is literally only a couple days away. I'm going to have more times coming open. I got some times booked in September already, but the rest of the calendar is wide open. What's up, brother? Good to see you, Nomad. He said, I'm still alive. I know you're working, Stifler. It's all good, brother. Shorty Goose Monk said, kind of at a crossroads. Absolutely. I hear that, Frank. I'm doing the same. Have 1 month left of my apprenticeship. Haven't made a trade in months now, and that's okay. Everything's been bearish. Probably the best thing to do. Good timing, by the way, Stifler. Dot's the last thing we'll look at. Pull up the old dot chart. Monthly looks terrible right off the bat. Weekly. It looks like it may have broken out here on the weekly, but I'm not positive. Let's go down to daily here and have a gander at it. Man, this thing took a beating, didn't it? Dot really had a rough run. In fact, if we come back here and remove some of this stuff, that triple bottom did not play out at all, did it? That was hella bearish. We got a blue trend line right here that I drew some time ago. You can see the strategy tester still up on my screen. That's what all those long sales mean. That's a strategy tester. Downward cross. I can't say buy, but it is testing the top of a trend line that it may have broken out, a falling wedge that may have broken out. Man, MACD just turned down. RSI is pointing down. It's tough. This looks sideways at best to me. Another reason why I would rather not. I'd just rather not get involved in some of these charts. They're not quite good enough for me to mess with right now. You guys are the bee's knees, though. You're the bee's knees, Stifler. Would you use fib levels at this time or just 8 EMA and trend lines until your alert goes off? I like the fibs to show me the area of interest. I like an 821 EMA to tell me when to buy. So get me close with the fibs and then get me even closer with that 821, right? This way I can filter all the charts out and find the ones that look best to me to have the best chance to retrace. So 96 people on the night. That's pretty badass. 51 likes. Hopefully get more likes tomorrow. We have a European stream coming up. 2 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be on YouTube Live again. Thank you all for coming. We went a little bit over time, but that's okay. We'll be back again tomorrow. Do this all over again. Thank you, every single one of you, for coming in here and checking this out. I appreciate the hell out of all of y'all. I really do, dude. It means the world to me. Okay? Seriously. You guys could be anywhere in the world, like the Notorious B.I.G. said, but you chose to be here with me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow and then Thursday too. Y'all be good, man. Peace.